Japan in the 16th century, a time of warfare. Countless warring feudal lords were fighting for their territories and for dominion over the country. One man changed the course of history. His name was Toyotomi Hideyoshi. He was born the son of a peasant and eventually went on to unify the country. In 1537, Owari province was located in present-day Aichi prefecture. Hideyoshi was born into a poor peasant family. At that time, it was considered difficult for peasants to have big dreams like samurai and warriors. At the age of 15, he left his hometown. Then, in 1554, he had a fateful encounter with Oda Nobunaga. Nobunaga was expanding his power to unify the country. At first, he was given small roles as a scullery maid, such as repairing buildings, taking care of horses, and cooking meals. There is an anecdote that one cold winter day, when preparing Nobunaga's sandals, Hideyoshi warmed the sandals in his own bosom before bringing them out, much to Nobunaga's delight. In this way, he steadily gained Nobunaga's trust. In 1566, Nobunaga entrusted Hideyoshi with the reckless challenge of building a castle in a short time in enemy territory. This challenge had been attempted twice before by other generals, but both times ended in failure when the enemy attacked 2 months after construction and just before the castle was completed. Hideyoshi surprised both his enemies and allies by completing the construction, which would normally have taken more than 2 months in just 1 week. This was accomplished by making the materials upstream in advance, then pouring them downstream and assembling them at once on site. Hideyoshi also achieved great success in warfare. In 1570, Nobunaga was struck by the greatest danger due to the sudden betrayal of Asai Nagamasa, the husband of his own sister and the lord of an allied kingdom. Hideyoshi, without regard for his own life, protected Nobunaga by serving as a shield at the tail end of the retreating army and succeeded in retreating. Hideyoshi, who had achieved success in one battle after another, steadily established his power under Oda Nobunaga. Hideyoshi was a strategic genius. His favorite strategy was to attack with food. He bought up all the food around the enemy's castle, cutting off supply routes and starving the enemy to death. In the Battle of Bichu Takamatsu Castle in 1582, he adopted a starvation strategy of isolating the enemy by drawing large amounts of water around the castle. Hideyoshi's bold strategy became known throughout the country. In 1582, a major incident occurred in a battle in the Chugoku region. The Honnoji incident occurred, in which Nobunaga was killed by the treachery of his vassal, Akechi Mitsuhide. This sudden event was a major turning point for Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi was greatly upset when he received the news, but he immediately concluded a truce with the other side, sent his own troops against the Akechi army, and drove 200 kilometers in 7 days to defeat Akechi Mitsuhide and avenge the death of Oda Nobunaga. Having avenged his enemy before anyone else, Hideyoshi's voice became a major force in the Oda family. At a meeting to decide Nobunaga's successor, he confronted Shibata Katsui, a powerful member of the Oda family. This confrontation eventually turned into war, and Hideyoshi defeated Shibata Katsui. With this victory, Hideyoshi gained the power that Oda Nobunaga had. With Osaka Castle as his headquarters, Hideyoshi subjugated one feudal lord after another in order to put an end to the warring states period. In 1585, he was appointed Kampaku, a government position that assisted the emperor and gained power to virtually rule all of Japan. Hideyoshi, who was immensely powerful, issued the Tsubujire, which prohibited feudal lords from fighting each other privately, and sent a huge army of 200,000 men from all over the country to defeat the Hojo clan, which disobeyed the decree. In 1590, he destroyed the Hojo clan and finally unified all of Japan. At this time, Hideyoshi became the supreme ruler of Japan, and people praised him. Hideyoshi devoted himself not only to warfare, but also to building a peaceful country. One of his political reforms was the sword-hunting order. He tried to prevent civil war by restricting the peasants' possession of weapons. He also established a system of taxation through the Taiko Kenchi by accurately ascertaining the productivity of the land. Hideyoshi further expanded his ambitions, and attempted to expand overseas, sending large armies to the Korean Peninsula in 1592 and 1597 in an attempt to advance into Ming China. However, these two expeditions did not go according to plan and were protracted. The wars ended in failure and cast a shadow over Hideyoshi's later years. In 1598, Hideyoshi ended his life due to illness. After his death, Japan was plunged back into an era of upheaval, and Tokugawa Ieyasu eventually seized control of the country. The life of Toyotomi Hideyoshi was truly a miraculous story of a man's rise from a peasant to a ruler.